Hey there, everyone. In today's video, I wanted to walk through where OpenAI is heading when it comes to their merchant feed and their e-commerce ads. Back in 2026 of March, they had deprecated instant checkout, which is basically the ability for agents to directly purchase on the user's behalf. And they really relied on scraping data from your product pages. And for a lot of reasons, that just didn't really work out. And it was mainly because um, they just didn't have a good infrastructure, one, to scrape product data, and two, have the ability to serve that content in a cohesive way that was fresh and wasn't misleading users. So they tried launching instant checkout in September of 2025. They retired it when they only launched it for less than 15 merchants. And so their next move, and it's really echoing what Google already does, is they are getting more merchants to opt into a product feed that they can directly pull elements from where it is set by the merchant rather than their agents just trying to crawl and scrape web pages to find that same information. And so they're going to use this feed in order to power the copy for the e-commerce ads that they're going to roll out for your products. And so taking your product feed data, things like your titles, attributes, GTIN, the price and availability, any other software attributes like fit or material and descriptions. They're going to be taking that information and then writing it to cater against the user query in real time. And so OpenAI will be generating these ads from those fields. For query, there's no more advertiser written creative to edit. And we've been seeing this with some other big players. Google's been doing this with some of their ad campaigns. I know Amazon just rolled that out as well for their conversational ads. And so the main requirement is having merchants with greater than 1,000 products per their feed or less than 2 million. And then that'll be uploaded via this SFTP on a regular schedule for OpenAI to ingest. Again, kind of similar to what Google does already with Merchant Center. And it'll be very closely aligned with what Google Merchant Center already has from a specs lens. And so basically aligning and matching the specs that you already have for Google Shopping for OpenAI to also pull from. And so the main through line here, or the shift, is you're going to be stopping writing the ads for your e-commerce copy because the model is, again, writing the ad from your structured data in real time. And so having complete and factual data will produce a better ad equivalent. And when you're using vague marketing language or your fields aren't really filled out, it will then produce a pretty vague ad. And you can't just go back and just fix it by rewriting the copy because, again, you're not in charge of writing the copy anymore. That's left in the hands of the large language model. And so the next steps to really take here are auditing your feed before you're setting up a bunch of spend through these ads. So making sure that your attribute fields are all completely filled out. You have very factual information and not just marketing fluff. Your fields are structured in a cohesive way that's relevant, like your GTIN, your price, the availability of the product, and then making sure that your feed that you're submitting agrees with the content that's on your product detail pages. This is already a practice that we follow for Google, and it's going to be the same for OpenAI or any of these other agentic experiences as well. And so, from a larger shift perspective, it then becomes a question of in house, does your ad team own the model or the input because the model is writing the copy? Does this fall on the SEO team? Does this fall on your e commerce team? And so, it's really something to start thinking through of who has cohesive ownership and do different teams have different inputs that are going to conflict as they're both relying on the same feed information for free listing performance or your ad quality coming out. So hopefully you find this video to be helpful and I will catch you on the next one.